hard mortar and stone. Be a rubber band man, make the water your bone. Dying just to live now. You're a world away, but you're still the same. I know you by your heart, and I will call you by your name. And it's a long way from the crack to the break. You know that I remember everything. When I said forever, you said get back in the car. Nothing lasts forever, babe. You know it breaks my heart.
And I'll call you anything that you like. And I am free and I'm able to call you the second that you died. Just to live now. You're a world away, but you're still the same. I know you by your heart, and I will call you by your name. And it's a long way from the crack to the grave. You know that I remember
Maria, I am so proud of the leader that you've become. And thank all of you for being here. I am honored to be here in San Antonio. There is something happening in the state of Texas. There's something in the air. We are building a movement to take back our state and take back our country. We are uniting all Texans onto one team to take on this broken, corrupt political system. We have recruited more than 45,000 volunteers who are doing the organizing work all over this state. We have shattered grassroots fundraising records, all without taking a dime from corporate PACs. And on November 3rd, we're going to do something extraordinary. We are going to end 30 years of one-party rule in this state and elect a senator who's going to serve us. You know, we have forgotten that that's what politics is supposed to be about, service. Elected officials are not supposed to serve themselves or their donors. They're supposed to serve us. I learned the meaning of service from my great-granddad, my papi. He was a barber in Port O'Connor, Texas, on the Gulf Coast, and he served this country in World War II in the Pacific Theater. Papi was a member of the Greatest Generation, a group of Americans who asked not what their country could do for them, but what they could do for their country. And whether he was cutting his neighbor's hair or fighting fascism on the other side of the world, Papi was always serving other people. And that's what we are missing in our politics. My Papi was a faithful man. He tried to live like Jesus, who, in the words of Scripture, came not to be served, but to serve. Papi's favorite Bible story was in the book of Matthew, when Jesus' disciples are all jockeying for position, trying to figure out who's on top. And Jesus tells them, the rulers of this world lord their power over the people, but among you it will be different. The greatest among you will be a servant. The greatest among you will be a servant. That is a radical idea. In a world obsessed with power and wealth and status, Jesus is saying that real greatness is serving others. My dad taught me the same thing quietly every Saturday morning. Some of you know that I was born to a single mom who worked overtime at a hotel to provide for me. But the luckiest day in both of our lives was the day we met my adoptive dad, Mark Tallarico, the man who gave me his last name, the man who raised me as his own. In a time when so many people are debating what it means to be a man, my dad showed me. Every Saturday he would mow our lawn. And then without anyone asking, he would go next door and mow our neighbor's lawn because she was elderly and a widow. He never talked about it. He just did it because that's what a man does. He serves others. He takes responsibility and he does what's right even when no one is watching. That is what we are missing in our politics. Nowadays, our culture teaches young men that greatness is tearing other people down. It's trolling and owning and name-calling. But my dad showed me what real greatness looks like. Papi and my dad inspired me to serve. And so when I graduated from the University of Texas, I moved all my stuff down to the west side of San Antonio to teach at Rhodes Middle School. And in my first year of teaching, I noticed something really strange. All of my students were eating the exact same snack, off-brand strawberry Pop-Tarts. And I couldn't figure it out. I didn't know if there was some kind of new Pop-Tart craze sweeping the nation, but I kept finding the wrappers in the trash can in my classroom. So one day after class, I cornered one of the kids and I asked him where he got the Pop-Tarts. And he said, Miss Rivas gave it to me. And I said, Miss Rivas, the custodian? He said, yeah, she carries them in her purse. And so after school, I found Miss Rivas and I asked her about it. She said she bought them in bulk at H-E-B and brought them to school every morning. When I asked her why she would spend her hard-earned money on off-brand strawberry Pop-Tarts, she looked at me kind of confused. And she said, they don't get breakfast at home. That was all she said. They don't get breakfast at home. The greatest among you will be a servant. In my 4 terms as a state lawmaker, I've tried to be like Miss Rivas. I've tried to serve my constituents. I've tried to serve the people of Texas. I have brought Democrats and Republicans together to pass 60 bipartisan bills to cut property taxes, to raise teacher pay, to lower the cost of housing, the cost of childcare, the cost of prescription drugs, including insulin. I ran for office not to be served, but to serve. And then there's Ken Paxton. I have a legislative record. Ken Paxton has a criminal record. Ken Paxton is the most corrupt politician in America, and he belongs nowhere near the United States Senate. 3 years ago this week, Ken Paxton was impeached by his own party for using his public office, his position of public trust, to enrich himself and his billionaire donors at our expense. Ken Paxton is everything that's wrong with politics. He doesn't serve us, he serves himself and his donors. Since taking office, Ken Paxton's net worth has increased 7,000%, while our pay has remained stagnant. He has 11 homes now, while most Texans can't afford one. He's taken bribes from wealthy donors while blocking overtime pay for Texas workers and gutting.
All right, it's 9 o'clock on this Friday night. That means it's time for the Live Zone Primetime. I'm producer Chris. You're taking a live look into an empty newsroom on this Friday night. So let's bring it back here in studio. Like I said, I'm producer Chris. Thank you so much to everyone out there for joining us on this Friday night, starting their weekend here with us on the Live Zone Primetime. Tony P enjoying the night off. He's down in Richmond enjoying his 5-year college reunion. He is a Spider, and he is going to be hanging out down there this weekend. But that's okay. We're going to hold things down here in studio on this Friday night. If you're watching on Fox Local or you're watching on Fox 5 DC's YouTube page, I appreciate it. Hang out with me. Let me know what you're up to. Let me know how you're spending this Friday night. The Zoom room is open. We'll check in on that in just a little bit. If you are watching on YouTube, you may have seen we had our live stream going a little early tonight because we've got a couple events already going on. If you watched this show before, you know if it's live, if it's happening now, we bring it to you. And right now you're taking a look at a couple live events. Right next to me, to my right, I believe, the box next to me over here, that's Newark, New Jersey. That is that ongoing protest between demonstrators and ICE agents outside of Delaney Hall. This is in Newark, New Jersey. These protests have been going on for days. We'll take you there first and listen in a little bit. Some salty language from some of the protesters out there, so I can't attest to what they're going to say. But we have seen moments of clashes between some of these protesters and ICE agents. Right now, everything looks calm and peaceful. But as you can see, a lot of people are wearing eye protection. They're wearing nose and mouth protection because there have been instances where pepper spray has been deployed. Let's go back to our boxes now. take a look, continue our tour around the country. Below me, that is Tarzana, California, and that is where San Jose Mayor Matt Mahan, a Democrat, is hosting a GoTV rally with businessman Rick Caruso. He is also running for California's governor, and we are just about a week away from that state's June 2nd primary. So he is talking to voters there.
Our elected officials accountable, and only we the people can do that.
And then a story we have been covering all week, diagonal down to the bottom right corner of your screen. That is Texas Senate candidate James Tallarico holding a rally. We'll listen into this live now. You know, earlier this week, he found out who his opponent will be in the general election when Ken Paxton beat John Cornyn in that GOP primary. We'll listen in now live.
Of the greatest generation, serving others, taking responsibility, and doing what's right even when no one is watching. Ken Paxton has sold us out, and he's gotten away with it. They've all gotten away with it. But that ends this year, in this state, in this race. If we, the people, can come together to defeat the most corrupt politician in America, we can defeat this entire corrupt system. After we win this race, the first bill I'm filing as your U.S. Senator is a comprehensive anti-corruption agenda. Getting big money out of our politics by overturning Citizens United. Banning corporate PACs and super PACs so billionaires can't make unlimited donations to our campaigns. And banning members of Congress from trading stocks and enriching themselves while they're in public office. But we're also going to go after the forms of corruption that don't involve money. We must pass term limits so people aren't making a career out of public service. We must overhaul the Supreme Court so we can have confidence in our judicial branch. And we must finally pass a national ban to end gerrymandering once and for all in every state in the union. Once we transform this broken, corrupt political system, we can start to unrig this economy. We can start to raise our pay, cut our taxes, lower our costs. We can do that together. It won't be easy. Those billionaires, they're coming after us because we're going after their top puppet. They are afraid of this movement that we're building. They're afraid of a crowd like this in San Antonio, Texas. They're gonna throw everything they have at us. They've called me a radical leftist. They've called me a fake Christian. They've even called me a vegan. And those are fighting words in the state of Texas. I'm an 8th generation Texan. I've been eating barbecue since before Ken Paxton's first indictment. You may have also seen that Ken Paxton has started calling me Tallarico. And so I'm proud to announce that we now have I'm a Tallarico t-shirts available on our website. They're going to call this movement that we're building un-Texan, un-American. They'll call us a threat. The only truth out of all of those lies is that we are a threat. We're a threat to their corruption. There is something happening in Texas. There's something in the air. I am confident. I feel it in my bones that we're going to win this election. And we're going to elect a senator who will serve and not be served. And on November 3rd, the greatest among us will be the servants. Thank you for being here. God bless you, San Antonio. And go Spurs, go! Thank you.
All right, you've been listening to James Tallarico at that San Antonio, Texas rally, and you got to get the shout out for the Spurs in as they take on the Oklahoma City Thunder, and the countdown to the NBA Finals. Take you back to that quad box where we're taking a live look not only from San Antonio, Texas, but also Newark, New Jersey, and Tarzana, California. In the meantime, though, we do want to bring things back home, though, and talk about one of the big stories here in the DMV, and this one is coming to us from Stafford, Virginia. Lower the volume there, because first at 9, 5 people are dead, dozens of others hurt after a bus plowed into a line of cars along I-95. This was down in Stafford, Virginia, early this morning. This is some of the wreckage. You see this video from earlier today. Tonight, the bus driver facing potential charges, and the NTSB is on the scene investigating what happened. Fox 5's Bob Barnard has more details from the scene.
12 people who were injured in the crash were brought here to Stafford Hospital. All have been treated and released, we're told. Some remained behind and were cared for until they could make arrangements to continue their journey to North Carolina. 6 patients are being treated still at Mary Washington Hospital in Fredericksburg. We're told 4 of the people who were killed in the crash were from the same family from north central Massachusetts. Skyfox over the scene this morning, I-95 in Stafford County, mile marker 146 near Quantico, Virginia. You can see the bus there where it finally came to a stop in the median. It had been traveling southbound on 95 from New York City to Charlotte, North Carolina. You can see the tracks of its tires, a long path of flattened grass through the median after it left the highway.
He just comes flying up the side, has barely missed us. He's in the ditch.
One passing motorist shot this video right after the crash, just after 2:30 this morning. You can see people being evacuated off the bus. One police officer there on scene almost immediately.
I wonder if their brakes went out or something.
It missed us, and it could have been us because we had just hit that lane. And, you know, I'm like, we just dodged a bullet. But, man, when I heard people that actually, I was hoping that nobody actually died.
Stafford County fire officials say 5 people were killed, 37 injured in the crash. 4 people in one SUV died at the scene. A couple in their mid-40s, a 13-year-old girl and a 7-year-old boy. A passenger in that car, which caught fire, was critically injured and flown to a hospital in Fairfax County.
So we've got an approximately 25-year-old male that was found as a passenger rear seat in an SUV that had heavy damage and 3 fatalities in the same vehicle. Patient was found alert and responsive.
Virginia State Police say the crash happened as all traffic approaching a construction zone was slowing in the southbound lanes, except the bus. For first responders, it was chaos and carnage. Katie Brady is with Stafford County Fire and Rescue.
Some of the things that I know our providers saw are probably going to stick with them for a while. And we do have those channels and avenues for support that we will be working on with them.
The bus is operated by E&P Travel out of Kings Mountain, North Carolina. All they would tell us is that they're cooperating with the authorities. The interstate's southbound lanes were closed for a time, reopening as the day progressed. The National Transportation Safety Board says it has sent a GO team here to Stafford to assist in the investigation. It is being led by Virginia State Police. They have identified the driver of the bus as Jing Dong, a 48-year-old man from Staten Island, New York, who was injured and is facing potential charges.
That was Fox 5's Bob Barnard reporting. Fox 5 Shamari Stone will be following this story for us tonight on Fox 5 News at 10 and 11 right here on Fox Local. He is checking in at some of those local hospitals where some of those injured passengers were taken, but a truly terrible story out of Stafford County. All right, we want to check some of the other stories making headlines tonight right here on Fox Local as well. And we're starting off here in D.C. with a story we have been following for a while now. But President Trump says he no longer has any interest in renovating the Kennedy Center. This comes after a federal judge blocked him from shutting down the venue and struck down the decision to add his name. Remember, it has been going by the Trump Kennedy Center for months now. The website changed and the president added his name to the exterior of the Performing Arts Center. But a judge today said that is not okay. He says this building was only meant to honor the President John F. Kennedy, and only Congress can change that. The judge called the board's vote on the 2-year closure for major renovations ill-informed. He also said only Congress has the authority to change the Kennedy Center's name. So Trump's name must come down. They have 14 days to do it. The president attacked the judge in a long Truth Social post. You can see it right here. Shockingly, a judge appointed by Barack Obama, Christopher Cooper, ruled that the Kennedy Center, which was going to close in early July for large-scale renovations and construction due to years of neglect, decay, and poor maintenance, and which was to be transformed by the Trump administration into the finest facility of its kind anywhere in the world, is not allowed to close for these renovations, which would not be possible to properly do without such a closure. Additionally, Judge Cooper ruled that the 36-member Board of Trustees, which unanimously voted to add the name Trump onto the former Kennedy Center, making it the Trump Kennedy Center, did not have the right to do such an addition, and the name Trump must be removed. The Kennedy Center has lost over the years prior to our getting involved a short while ago hundreds of millions of dollars in some cases, including ridiculous construction jobs that were done over $100 million a year. I took great pride in taking over a losing institution and look forward to making it into a great and prestigious winner for Washington, D.C., and indeed the United States of America. Unfortunately, Judge Cooper and the radical left would rather see it die than have President Trump transform it into something that everyone could be proud of, much as I have done in many cases throughout my life and recently with all of the construction, renovation, and fix-ups that we have completed with the Department of Interior on waterfalls, fountains, monuments, and other things of beauty that we have brought back to life in a now safe and secure, after record-setting crime, Washington, D.C. So you can check out the president's full message over on Truth Social. In the meantime, the Trump administration and Iran painting different pictures over the current ceasefire. President Trump held a 2-hour meeting at the White House Situation Meeting Room today. However, it's not clear if any decisions were actually made. Iranian state media claims the draft agreement does not prevent Iran from collecting tolls in the Strait of Hormuz, unfreezes about $12 billion in Iranian assets, and contains no nuclear-related clauses. The other story we've been following all week, more performers dropping out of the upcoming Freedom 250 concert on the National Mall. Rock singer Bret Michaels, the latest to exit. He announced his departure this morning, citing threats and safety concerns over the controversial event. He joins Morris Day, Young MC, Martina McBride, and the Commodores, who all backed out just days after the lineup was announced. Within 48 hours, all of those acts had actually dropped out. That leaves just Vanilla Ice, Flo Rida, and CNC Music Factory as the only current performers. All right, back here in D.C. again. Youth curfew zones back in effect this weekend. The latest zones impact Chinatown in Northwest, Benning Road, and Navy Yard in Southeast, in addition to the U Street Corridor zone that was announced yesterday. These all follow that emergency order reinstated after the large fight that broke out inside a Navy Yard Chipotle. That video going viral, not just here in the DMV, but across the country as well. The citywide youth curfew remains in effect. That one goes into effect at 11 p.m. daily and lasts through 6 a.m. And finally, Friday Night Baseball back on Fox 5. Tonight, the Nats are hosting the San Diego Padres. At last check, it was tied 5-5 in the top of the 7th. Right now, they are in a commercial break. I'm waiting for the game to come back on, and I'll give you an update on the score. But the Nats are on a little bit of a hot streak. They are back at home after a 6-game road series that saw them take 2 out of 3 from the first place NL East, current NL East first place team, the Atlanta Braves, and 2 out of 3 from the first place Cleveland Guardians. The Nats are now 1 game over 500. That's very significant for this team because they have struggled in recent seasons. No matter what happens tonight, though, fans are going to have a good time because tonight the team also kicks off their summer concert series. Tayo Cruz, the first performer, set to take the field after the game tomorrow. C.J. Abrams bobblehead night. And then on Sunday, the kids can run the bases at the Nats game. So a big weekend for the Nats. Still standing by to check. Stand by a second. I'm going to go look at a TV instead of watching the live stream to see what the score is currently. Stand by. Here we go. Here we go. It is now 7-5 San Diego. So something happened. Something happened during this last couple minutes that I wasn't watching. But the Nats, it's still the bottom of the 7th, though, so there is time to turn things around. We have faith. Fox 5, our Friday Night Baseball, some mixed success. I will just say that it's been we've lost more than we've won. Let's put it that way. But the weather has been perfect for each and every single one of these home games, and that tradition continues tonight. Mike Thomas will have a full look at the forecast, and I will just say it is much better looking this weekend than it was last weekend for the Memorial Day holiday. So you can catch that full forecast coming up tonight at 10 and 11 right here on Fox Local as well. All right, we're going to take a quick break, but as we do, we're going to take you to Dallas, Texas. That is where there was that apartment explosion earlier this week. We're hearing from some officials there. You see one person at the podium right now. We'll listen in as we take a quick break.
Our next speaker is Pastor S.M. Wright, People's Missionary Baptist Church. Nuestro próximo representante es el pastor de S.M. Wright Baptist Church, People's Missionary Baptist Church.
Good evening. We are in prayer for all of the families here in Oak Cliff, and this has been very hard here in our city. I'm here also so heavy, my heart is heavy with Sylvia. Sylvia was very, very wonderful spirit. Not only I'm pastor of People's Missionary Baptist Church, I serve as the CEO of the S.M. Wright Foundation, which we put on the Dallas Christmas in the Park event at Fair Park for over 28 years. Sylvia has served on our registration event logistics team for over 20 years. 20 years behind the scenes. Francis, Rizzo, and Sylvia, Sylvia was right there. She always, every time we come to registration, she said, it's gonna be all right. We're gonna get everybody registered. She was always an encourager the 3 weeks before the event and on event day. And you cannot forget the dedication of making sure that all of the families that attend Christmas in the Park, every year we want to make sure all the families have been served. And Sylvia served faithfully and with joy every Christmas, every time when we do the Christmas in the Park event in Dallas. Francis and Sylvia, the dynamic duo, was right there in the office, in my office, and we worked to making sure that we provide the help and our back team of our logistics for the Dallas Christmas in the Park. And my heart, when my cell phone was going off about Sylvia, my heart, I just went into tears, because Sylvia is a hard worker, and she loved what she does. She has that wonderful spirit about her that is just so contagious that you want to be around her. She had that wonderful spirit, and we're going to miss her greatly. So we want to be in prayer for her family and all of the families that have been affected. There is a scripture in Psalms 46. It says, God is our refuge and strength, a very present help in trouble. And therefore we will not fear, though the earth be removed, and though the mountains be carried in the midst of the sea, though the waters thereof roar and be troubled, though the mountains shake with the swelling thereof. But there is a river, streams whereof shall make glad the city of God, the holy place of the tabernacle of the Most High. We're going to miss Sylvia, and all, let us be in prayer for all of the families, and we all will work together, and we all going to pull together and share. We are in prayer. God bless you, and God keep you.
Our next speaker is Pastor Dr. Freddie Haynes, our new congressional man from District 30. All right. Nuestro próximo representante congresista es el doctor Pastor Freddie Haynes, mi representante de mi área, del Distrito 30.
Thank you so much. I basically came here to do what Sylvia has always done, and that is to show up. I didn't come here to speak, but to show up, because there's power in showing up. And so we show up recognizing that when we show up, healing can take place. Sometimes there are no words that can come that will express fully what reaches the heart, but our presence makes a difference. And so to Sylvia's memory, we say simply thank you for always showing up. She showed up on the front lines. She showed up on the front lines fighting for democracy. And that memory, that legacy is something that we must continue as we salute her. But not only do we show up for Sylvia, we show up for those families that have been broken by this terrible tragedy, because there's nothing like coming together to bring about healing. And so we have come here to show up in the spirit not only of Sylvia, but of those families, remembering this, and that is that I've got to be honest, I've got a lot of questions right now, questions for God, but the word is God may not be in the business of explaining, but God is in the business of sustaining. God will sustain us and see us through what we're going through. And so in honor of Sylvia, in honor of all of the families impacted and brokenhearted, we got to continue to show up knowing that God will sustain us. And then we remix that wonderful hip-hop song, Oak Cliff, that's our hood. And since Oak Cliff is our hood, let's do good in the hood. Let's do good for Oak Cliff. Let's do good and make a difference as we wrap our arms of love and support around another, because Oak Cliff, that's our hood. God bless the memory of Sylvia. God bless the memory of unnamed persons. They are unnamed, and yet they are on our hearts because they mean everything to us. And we want to go forward saying that Oak Cliff is our hood. We're going to do good in the hood, and we're going to make sure that every building is safe. Every place where we live should be safe, and one where we are all taken care of. So God bless you, God keep you, because Oak Cliff, that's our hood.
All right, welcome back to the Live Zone Primetime. You've been listening into the Vigil in Dallas, Texas, for the victims of that apartment complex explosion yesterday. 3 people killed. You heard them talking about one of those victims during that. At the top of the screen, still those ongoing protests in Newark, New Jersey, outside of that Delaney ICE facility. Still, not too much going on, just occasional skirmishes, occasional clashes, but right now everything appears to be peaceful. We'll keep an eye on both of these and bring you more as it develops. In the meantime, we did want to move on, and we wanted to talk a little World Cup action now. And in that case, I'm going to hand things over to Tyler Thrasher. Take a listen.
You might be watching the World Cup this summer and notice that some of the teams have stars on their crest. But what does it mean? Well, it's really simple. 1 star equals 1 World Cup trophy. Spain has 1 star after winning in 2010. England also has 1 star for their victory in the World Cup in 1966. France has 2 stars, one for 1998 and the other for winning in 2018. Now, Uruguay wears 4 stars, but they've only won the World Cup twice, once in 1930 and once in 1950. Now, the other 2 are for winning the 1924 and 1928 Olympics, before the World Cup ever existed. And if you ask people from Uruguay, you're probably going to be told that they have 4 World Cups. Moving up, Argentina has 3 stars.
All right, so that's just a recent example of a reel from Tyler. He is our Fox regional digital creator, and he has been our go-to World Cup correspondent, breaking down everything fans need to know about this summer's FIFA tournaments, actually for fans and non-fans alike. So earlier today, I actually got a chance to catch up with Tyler to mark the 2-week countdown until Team USA's first game. I also got a chance to talk to him all about the videos that he has been creating, Team USA, his World Cup predictions, and more. Take a listen. All right, Tyler Thrasher, Fox Northeast FIFA World Cup correspondent. Thanks so much for joining us here on the Live Zone Primetime.
I love the sound of that. That's awesome.
I know, right? Northeast FIFA World Cup correspondent. All right, so for those of our viewers who aren't familiar with you, haven't necessarily seen your content on our pages, tell us a little bit about yourself, how you kind of got into soccer, the World Cup. And I'm actually kind of shocked that you're not overseas right now, because I know Arsenal has a big parade coming up this weekend.
Yeah, well, we also have a big game tomorrow, which is even crazier in the Champions League final, but I'm just like, fingers crossed for now. But yeah, no, things have just been crazy, like nonstop. I started making some videos about the World Cup, and then I think people realized like, oh, there's a lot more to this than we thought. And for me, my goal really has been to teach the average person that doesn't necessarily know a lot about soccer or hasn't wanted to know a lot about soccer, because we know in this country it's a little bit dismissed as a sport, which is crazy, but that's, I digress. And then kind of like give all the tips and tricks that people might need to know ahead of the tournament and help spark some interest. And someone doesn't really know that much but wants to, that's what I'm here to do. I'm here to break down that wall and make it just easily accessible for that information and try to explain it in a way that makes sense, that isn't hard to understand. The number one question Googled during every World Cup is, what is offsides? And I have a fun video that I'm preparing for that very soon. And, I bought a referee outfit. Do all sorts of stuff.
Okay, so I'm glad you mentioned that, because I do want to show this video at the same time as we talk about this. Let me come to you here, and I'm going to do that. So speaking of buying the referee outfit, I watched this video. How many kits do you actually own?
Well, it depends. Like, as far as Arsenal kits, I probably have 30 of them. But for the national team ones, I've slowly been collecting them over the years. And since the World Cup teams started getting confirmed, I've been buying a few here and there. So right now I just have, I think, about 10 national team jerseys. I love them. I think it's a good way to throw yourself into, just different cultures and learn about them. And then once you pay $100 for a jersey, you almost need to support them, because that makes it worth it. But for me, like, I don't know, I've just always been a fan of a lot of different teams. And while I love the USA, I love supporting them. It's just, it's cool for me to have that experience.
Yeah, no question. And yet look, they look great. So, keep it up. All right, so we are less than 2 weeks until the tournament officially kicks off, exactly 2 weeks away from Team USA's first game. The big thing this week, obviously, was the Team USA roster reveal. You were there to see it all go down. Can you give me some initial thoughts on what you think of this Team USA, how that event went down, and basically where we stand right now as we count down to the tournament officially kicking off?
It's crazy, because I went into that being like, oh, the USA, we're not that good. And I know better. Of course, we have great players, but it just always feels like there's this stigma around the team. I got up there, and then as soon as they were announcing player by player by player coming up, I was like, oh my gosh, we actually have so much talent. How could I forget? And if you see, we're playing this video right here. Like, I went up to New York. I got a tour of the studio over there. I did some hits in the morning before I traveled over to the venue that was on the rooftop of Pier 17, which was this really cool venue. I interviewed some fans, and then up on top of the rooftop, there was just so many people, so many American fans ready to support the team, get behind them. And then, like, I think I was in for a surprise. Like, I know they told us ahead of time that the players would be there, but, that's always jarring to see the entire team up on top of something like that. And to send them off and give them well wishes, even though they're not going to another country, they're staying put here, but we're not going to necessarily see them. They'll be on the West Coast. So, like, it was just, it reminded me just how special and how much talent we have in this country. And I cannot wait to support these guys.
All right, so the first friendly is this weekend, if I'm not mistaken. So what are you kind of hoping to see from that? And how big of a deal is it to see these guys play together for the first time? And not just see them play together for the first time, but them to actually play together for the first time.
Yeah, and they're all familiar with each other from playing friendlies and different competitive matches over the last few years. I mean, a lot of that group is a core group that has been doing this for a while together, even though they've been playing in different countries with their club teams. But to kind of see what they run in this friendly is probably the formations that we're going to see in the first game. And whether that means Pochettino is going to do his normal 4 at the back or start running a 3 at the back formation, we're going to be able to get a good context of how the different positions are going to line up and how the players are going to be utilized and who that starting 11 could be. But I doubt that the starting 11 that's going to start in the friendly is going to be the exact same one that started in the first game. because you got to think about the opposition and all that. It is very different. But we will be able to see some sort of link in play, some sort of, team unison ahead of the tournament.
Which obviously it's a big deal, and it's a major factor of how well they play together. Anyone who knows basketball knows how important that chemistry is between some of these superstars. Do you think this is the most pressure Team USA has ever faced, especially since it's going to be on home turf?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to say. I feel like USA is always under a lot of pressure to perform, but of course, being on home turf, it's a big deal. But there are other countries like England that are under way more pressure by their team, no matter what World Cup tournament they're in, because that's just how the fandom is. But I think with USA, it'll be really good for them to hear our support, for them to see how much, America has grown in liking soccer over the last decade, or the last 2 decades, 3 decades, from 1994. Which is the last World Cup that was held here. There's such a huge change in the amount of support and the amount of viewership in soccer just by accessibility and the expansion of it. But, it'll be good for them, obviously, to see that support and to feel it. And for me, I can't wait.
Who do you think is the most important player for Team USA right now?
You're always going to say Christian Pulisic, who's our main guy pulling the strings. Well, he only had about 8 goals and 4 assists, I believe, in the league for Milan last season. That doesn't necessarily mean that form will translate over into the United States. I feel like he always steps his game up a little bit more when he's wearing the captain's armband playing for the Stars and Stripes. But there are plenty of really important players. Obviously, Matt Turner, our goalkeeper, he actually had a loan stint from New England Revolution to Richmond Kickers, then went over to Arsenal for a year, never played a league game for us, went to Nottingham Forest, came back to New England Revolution. So his career path has always been connected to mine in a weird way. Not that I play soccer professionally, but just that wherever I've lived or whatever team I've supported, Matt Turner's always been there. So I've always got my eye on him. And then we've got really just incredible midfield players in Tyler Adams, Weston McKennie. Serginho Dest is a really good fullback. We have Aaron Robinson, who's Jedi, is what they call him. He's incredible. There's just so many great players on this team. And like I said, when they were lining up in front of me, I was just like, I forgot. My bad. I forgot how good we are.
That's a good problem to have, though, and I think, especially when it comes to this. When you talk about Team USA, how do they kind of stack up? How does this roster stack up against some of the other Team USA World Cup rosters?
I mean, Landon Donovan in the past was always that guy. It was like we had Landon Donovan, Clint Dempsey up top. There's Josie Altidore, Tim Howard. Very good players, but it feels like this team is the most built for this competition that it's ever been. There's a lot of players playing overseas most of the time, and especially in previous World Cups, most of our squad was playing within the MLS. There wasn't a lot of overseas expansion. We have a lot of players playing in Germany, some in England, some even in Italy, like I said, with Christian Pulisic, who's playing for AC Milan. So having all those different styles in those countries, playing for these top-level clubs that are in the Champions League and the Europa League, having that experience, bringing that back to the United States, that's so important. And so, we need to value that a lot higher, in my opinion, because now that we have that experience over there, that's going to bleed into the style of play, especially with someone like Mauricio Pochettino at the helm, who has so much experience at Tottenham Hotspur. I'll bite my tongue on that one. But he also went to, Paris Saint-Germain, who's now in the Champions League final that we're playing tomorrow. But, and he's jumped around. He went to Chelsea, had a stint there, and then now coaching his first national team in the USA. He's going to have a lot to prove, and he's going to want to show it on the world stage.
So what do you think a realistic expectation is for Team USA at this point?
In the group stages, I had us coming second to Turkey because Turkey is just a really good side. Obviously, the European sides are always going to have a lot more firepower. But I was worried at first because Chris Richards, one of our best defenders, he was looking like he was going to be injured for this, but he came back for the Europa Conference League final. That was last night or the night before, and he played really well. It was really good to see him back, and and he got announced obviously when we were on stage, so he's going to be part of the squad. And going forward, it just depends. having that home support is going to mean a lot to me, in my opinion, especially, over there in SoFi, they go crazy. And I hope we fill the stadium, because that'll push us over the line. In any big competition, having your fans behind you goes a long way.
Very, very, very true. Speaking of fans, and because of where you are right now, which is in the city of brotherly love, as we like to call it, it's Philadelphia. They're a rough and tumble group of people. What is the vibe like in Philly right now ahead of this World Cup tournament and games kicking off at Lincoln Financial Field?
I think we're all trying to just get people excited about it, because it feels like the World Cup is coming closer and closer to us. And my plan with this whole thing is, now that I'm here, I'm starting to interview just individual fans from different nations that are coming to Philadelphia. So I did one with Haiti yesterday that I posted. And really, it's just to show the things that matter more than just the game. It's a cultural experience. These are teams that, a lot of them, they haven't even seen their country play in a World Cup before. And so Curacao is going to be here, and that's one of the teams that it's their debut in the World Cup. So how does this mean to the nation? And that answers a lot more than just, how are they going to play on the field? I think like a country with as small of a population as Curacao, with 150,000 people, that is incredible. That 26 of them are going to be playing in the World Cup, and they get to watch and support them. So for me, and as far as Philly goes, we are passionate. We have a lot of sports culture here. That is an understatement. Like, people rally behind. It's always sports. Whether it's the Eagles or the Flyers or the Phillies, and I think I always say, like, Brazilians remind me the most of Philly fans. Like, Brazilians are the Philly of South America, because they get so passionate about the team, and I just see so many similarities between the two. But for me, like, it's just, if we can get that excited about the sports that are in our hometown, you can get excited about this 39-day tournament that we may never have again in this country. You never know.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's been decades since the last time. So with the tournament kicking off in a little less than 2 weeks, what is like one thing you're most excited to see?
I love an underdog story, and I always hope that there's one, especially the further along we get into the tournament, like the round of 32. This is a brand new time. So the top two teams in each group advance. So in each group, there's 12 groups. So there's 4 teams in each of those 12 groups. The top 2 in each group will advance. Then the 8 best third place finishers also advance. So only 4 of the third place teams don't go to the round of 32, and all of the fourth place teams also exclude. It's kind of a mouthful to explain all that, but that gives a lot more of an opportunity for these smaller teams to make it to the round of 32, which is just a standard knockout phase. So if they somehow win a game, they can continue to go along and ride that momentum. So there's a lot of storylines that will come out throughout the tournament. But like I said, one of the things I'm most excited for is just the cultural aspect, and being able to see all these new cultures come into my city. Like Ivory Coast, I posted a picture of me just wearing their jersey, and the amount of love that I got from that was crazy, just because they feel like, that representation matters, that fandom, that love, it means so much more than just supporting a soccer team on the field.
So I know you did post a video where you did do kind of a breakdown, some of your predictions. Can you walk us through some of your early predictions for each of these group stages?
Yeah, I've been getting cooked for this video, I'm not gonna lie, because basically what I've been trying to do is just teach people like the basics. So what I did was just kind of show people who the best team in each group would be, and the comment section is giving me a hard time. Like, oh, you picked all the easy ones. Look, I don't know how this is going to shake up, but I don't have enough information right now to stick my neck out on the line and say that a country like Sweden is going to come top of the group. Like, you never know. Anything can happen in this World Cup. But like what I did in this video, essentially, for those who are learning about soccer, is kind of show these are the teams that are expected to advance, right? So Argentina, France, Portugal, Spain, Brazil, like those teams. But anything can happen. This is what I say, the magic of the World Cup. That's it. You never know.
You never know, but if the tournament started tomorrow and you had to make a prediction, who do you see going all the way?
You see me walk around that, but I'm always going to be an England fan. I just think that they have such a good squad, and because I watch Premier League, I see these players every single week in my free time. I just know their birthplaces in England to places I've never even been, and to see them after what they've been through in the Euros, the last two Euro competitions where they've bowed out in the final or the semi, and it's just, you know, you want to support them. And there's four of the players that got called up play for Arsenal, so I try to, you know, back my boys as much as I can. But it would be nice to see. So personally, I'd like to see England go pretty far.
Yeah, and I know that our meteorologist here on the morning show, Tucker Barnes, would like that as well. He is someone who is continually disappointed by their performance in these sort of international tournaments. All right, so we've talked about some of the teams. What about some of the, you know, behind you, obviously Messi was one of the huge stories on the last World Cup. Obviously the entire world, and especially Argentina, rooting for him. Who are some of the names this time around fans are going to be super psyched about and love to see?
Yeah, and I think ideally this would be Messi, Ronaldo, and Neymar's last World Cup. Neymar cannot stay fit for the life of him. He's even injured right now, and we'll see if he's even able to go. But like, obviously, those are storylines we're going to be watching. These are their last moments on the biggest stage. Messi maybe. I mean, it's most likely that this is his last time. But there are a lot of up and comers that are really good. Lamine Yamal is head and shoulders above all the youth that have come out of La Masia, which is Barcelona's academy in the last decade. He's so good. You have the likes of Kylian Mbappe, obviously, who scored a hat trick in the final in 2022. And he's just an incredibly versatile attacker who leads his team every time he steps out on the pitch. It's part of France, you know, history. He's already become a part of, and he's still rather young in his career. You have really good defenders. I'll champion William Saliba, who is a center back for France, who also plays for Arsenal. But there's plenty of other great talent that are scattered throughout every nation, and it's just exciting to kind of look and watch their careers develop even further once they get that spotlight on at the World Cup. Then of course during the summer they start getting linked transfers to every other team because the coaches are all watching this tournament. So I hope that all of Arsenal's best players stay put. But yeah, there's just so much good talent out there.
So you mentioned getting roasted for that one video. Overall, though, what has the response been like to what you're providing, to these videos, these explainers? I mean, I have found them absolutely invaluable, and I know you've been doing hits not only for us here on the Live Zone, now the Live Zone Primetime. You've done hits for Philly, you've done hits for New York. What kind of response have you been getting from people?
Dude, I'm learning on the fly every single day. Not just about the sport, but just like what do people care about? What do they want to know? What do they need to know? Most of the things that I'm doing, well, everything that I'm doing is something I'm assigning myself. And so I've also been writing a lot of article breakdowns. I've written over, I think, 150 that are just FIFA related in the last 6 months. And that's my, you know, every time I have a question that pops in my mind, I'm like, someone else might ask that question. So I either make a video or I write an article about it and I get it out there. And I think steadily, obviously with social media, the algorithm doesn't necessarily think that I'm the soccer guy yet. It thinks that I'm the Philly guy, but it's slowly started to learn that I produce soccer content now, and I'm growing my audience more and more. And that's been really exciting to watch that happen. Soccer fans tend to have a negative opinion about everything, and that's just, you know, it's like football, right? It's
well, I was going to say, you've got to be used to that, being a Philly guy now.
Yeah. Exactly. Philly trained me for this. I might get cooked in some videos, but it's easy for me. You know? But I think overall, the experience has been really good. The feedback I've been getting is really good. And most of the time, it's people are just like, keep going, do your thing. And I'm like, cool.
Well, DC has one of the biggest audiences for international soccer. So I encourage everyone watching right now to go give you a follow. And if they want to do that, Tyler, how can they?
They can follow me on Instagram at Thrasher TV. That is my last name, Thrasher. That first H is very critical. Do not type in Trasher. All of my British coaches growing up, they could not get my last name right. So Thrasher TV.
Thrasher TV. Tyler, thanks so much for spending some time with us here tonight, and we can't wait to check in with you some more as this tournament gets underway in the coming weeks. All of the coverage right here on Fox. So we are your place to be. We appreciate it so much.
Yes, sir.
All right, so that was Tyler Thrasher, our Fox local FIFA correspondent. Shout out to him. Give him a follow for all of his great World Cup content if you're interested. If you're more of a baseball person, the Nats still losing Current score 7-5. Let me check the inning. It is the bottom of the 8th. So we'll keep our eyes on that as well. They gotta rally at this point. All right. In the meantime, though, we want to move on and we want to talk about some other streaming options for this weekend because there's a lot of new stuff, and we are starting off with a tribute to a comedy legend. Take a look. Yeah, that is the one and only Eddie Murphy. He is the subject of the AFI Salute this time around, the 2026 AFI Salute. The star-studded tribute to the comedian and actor was actually taped last month, but you can stream it this Sunday on Netflix. Next up, we're throwing things back a little bit. A trip back in time, as a matter of fact, Spider style. Take a look.
Have you seen it out there? The city's a mess. You used to be.
I know who I used to be. I know who I am now. I'm starting over.
Are you gonna be a dick about it?
Yes, actually, a private dick, to be exact.
My friend disappeared. You're an investigator. Investigate.
Rare.
And I a trouble train. Are we gonna talk about the fact that her friend turned into some kind of sand monster? Just seems like kind of like a big deal.
What the hell is going on? I can't get into it right now.
All I know is that once it starts, it gets worse fast. Until their sicknesses eat them alive.
So that is part of the trailer for Spider Noir. It's based on a character from the Spider-Verse series, but this is a standalone. You don't have to have seen the Spider-Verse. You don't have to have seen any of the Tom Holland Spider-Man movies or any of the other Marvel Cinematic or Sony Cinematic universes. This one stands alone. Obviously, it stars the one and only Nicolas Cage, a singular talent in and of himself. He plays Ben Reilly, a grizzled private investigator who once masqueraded as the 1930s New York-only superhero known as the Spider. But years after his retirement, he decides to resurrect his alter ego when an exceptional case comes his way. This one, it started off streaming on MGM+, but it is now streaming on Prime Video as well. So everyone out there with Prime Video who is interested in this sort of thing can check that one out. Next up, we've got something. Oh, that's what one other interesting thing about this one. You can actually stream it exclusively in black and white, or you can stream it in color. They give you two different options. So very, very noir-ish. All right, next up, we've got a comedy perfect for couples. Take a look.
You were right. This is the perfect spot. He would have loved this.
I hereby declare this annual Nick Weekend. May we all come here together for the rest of our lives.
No.
Let's just go.
I want to love you madly.
I've been asking myself what this next chapter of our lives is going to be.
What would Nick say if he were here?
I want to love you now.
Jack's having a hard time lately. At night, he barely talks to me.
Like when he's high?
No, Jack doesn't get high.
I got nachos!
I never expected to be in charge of Nick's estate.
What if you keep it simple? Sell the boat.
I can't sell the boat, Jack, because I traded it for 2 donkeys.
What the fairy tale fuck?
I think we should have a baby.
Whoops, that one snuck past me. That is part of the trailer for season 2 of the 4 seasons. This one reunites season 1 stars Tina Fey, Coleman Domingo, Will Forte, and more. They play old college friends who take a group trip once a season. It's streaming now on Netflix, and I have a feeling Mrs. Producer Chris is going to want to watch that one now that we've finished Running Point and Shrinking. Am I correct?
That is on the list for us, right?
Yeah,
Can we start it this weekend?
That's definitely going to be on the list for us. We did watch the first season. We did like it. I will tell you right now, it is getting pretty. I mean, I have seen good reviews, and some critics actually said it's better now that Steve Carell, spoiler alert, isn't part of the cast.
I mean, Coleman Domingo is the star of that show,
He is
so that doesn't
easily the
surprise me.
star of that show. Any thoughts or feelings about Spider Noir, or is that one I can watch without you when you fall asleep?
I was waiting for you to tell my favorite anecdote. Did you say it?
About that show? So just going back to Spider Noir, the creators of the character in the Spider-Verse are Chris Miller and Phil Lord, who are the same people behind 21 Jump Street, the Spider-Verse, like I said. I think they just did Project Hail Mary as well. But they did an interview about this show, and they talked about it, and they said what makes Nicolas Cage, the perfect person for this is the fact that most actors who approach the role of Spider-Man are a man who is, has to figure out how to be a spider. Nicolas Cage approached the role as a spider cosplaying as a man. Classic, right? Absolutely
just
classic.
Because of that, I'm intrigued.
So you are intrigued. So I should save this one and watch it with you?
I mean, you'll probably end up watching it in the middle of the night.
Although, admittedly, and just a heads up, I not to name drop, but I am interviewing Javier Bardem on Monday. He's in the new Apple TV remake of Cape Fear, so I kind of have to watch some of that over this weekend when you fall asleep.
Tell him I said what up.
I will. All right, let's keep going. Let's talk about another show on its second season.
We're here to meet with the proprietor of this esteemed establishment.
I know who you are. You guys are legends around these parts.
Hey, it ain't easy, Pip, but we out here. Mr. Sugar, we've run out of places to hide our money.
I don't do anything illegal here. So we'll make this quick. Take a 20% cut of every dollar laundered. The casino pays fake corporation. We could do really bad things together.
Right now?
Yes.
Do I have your consent to unbutton your pants?
You do.
You okay?
Just
Hey, now.
daydreaming about the first thing I'm gonna buy when we get our money clean.
I'm gonna need this in an extra small.
Bag them all up.
You could put your gun away.
It's my emotional support gun.
All right, so that is part of the trailer of season 2 of Deli Boys. This one is a comedic caper following two pampered Pakistani-American brothers who inherit one of Philadelphia's biggest drug rings after their father dies. This one stars Asif Ali and Sagar Sheikh. The new season also features Fred Armisen, Andrew Rannells, and Kumail Nanjiani. It is streaming on Hulu now. And speaking of Andrew Rannells, let's take a look at our next one.
So how does this work? My son's assistant being here.
It's a very unusual situation.
Will you be sitting beside me at the funeral?
Well, no, I mean,
Why?
I couldn't.
You're doing everything else for Tyler. Why can't you be my son on the day?
Well, because I'm no replacement for
You'd
it.
be surprised how low that bar is.
Tyler's doing his best.
Oh, please. He seems to think he can pass off his responsibility to say goodbye to his stepfather. We turned the spare into an art studio, so you'll have to sleep out here.
Sure. Oh.
It is a bed.
Oh, yeah, no, it's...
Or there's the couch.
Yeah, oh, no.
That is where he died, though, so...
Wow,
It's
okay.
up to you.
No, that's...
I'll get sheets.
Thanks. Do you want to start a list of things we need to do?
I have one.
I emptied your dishwasher and I made some coffee. I'm sorry, I couldn't help myself. I kind of get off on this stuff, and I instantly regret saying get off.
All right, so that was part of the trailer for Miss You, Love You. That one stars Andrew Rannells as well, alongside Alice and Janney. This one tells the story of a grieving widow forced to plan her husband's funeral with her estranged son's assistant. You can catch that one streaming on HBO Max. And that brings us to our final option of new to stream, and it's the movie with the strangest title of the week. Take a look.
Surprise! We are going on a jet.
What?
All aboard, please.
There it was, an absolute specimen of an aircraft, my first love.
Welcome aboard. I can't believe I'm flying.
This would begin an experience I would never forget. Here I am on this plane going to one of the farthest trips the airline offers.
Propeller one-way night coach. Stops at Pittsburgh, Chicago, Kansas City, Denver, and Los Angeles.
I never thought things could get better. The sun was shining, and I was eating a hot dog at 600 miles an hour.
Lunch is ready. Chicken cordon bleu. Mom, I don't really like this. Could I have another hot dog?
So that is part of the trailer for Propeller One-Way Night Coach. This one is a throwback fable that tells the story of a young boy's eye-opening 1960s cross-country trip as he flies with his actress mom to Hollywood. The reason this one has made a lot of headlines is because it's John Travolta's directorial debut. It's based on his own book. He also narrates the movie, if you couldn't tell from that trailer. It is streaming now on Apple TV. I'm going to bring in my Zoom Room Peanut Gallery now. If you have seen John Travolta at all talking about this movie, he's rocking a new look. Now, I know Molly has seen this because we have talked about this. Molly, the beret, the painted on beard and mustache, and the tiny glasses. Are we digging John Travolta's new look?
I mean, it's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous, but it's very him.
It's very him.
But I will say that has made the news. I had no idea what it was for. I didn't know that it was about this movie or that he was actually directing it. I thought he was pretending to play a director. So
yeah, well, that's basically been his explanation for why he looks like that. Melissa, have you seen these pictures of John Travolta?
Have not, but I can only imagine what they look like, and I would not be surprised because he's getting older, so he needs the clout. So
yeah, I mean that's fair description of it. So I mean I have a soft spot for John Travolta. He's always joined us, but Molly, to your point, I think it has done nothing but help this movie that he looks a little crazy because. Here, I'm gonna do you a favor. There you go, Melissa. That's what he looks like currently.
Oh no!
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. But like Molly said, we didn't even realize it was for a movie, so hopefully it gets some attention. But like I said, you can check that one out streaming. What do you guys? I mean, Molly, I know what you're watching. HGTV almost exclusively. Melissa, what are you watching? Have you watched anything new or recent that we should check out?
I haven't, but you caught my attention with the 4 seasons. So I'm definitely gonna watch it. I'm gonna be not working so much now that some instructors are coming back from recovery and maternity leave. So I'm definitely gonna be watching the first season of that, and hope that I like it to watch the second season because it looks interesting.
Here's what I'll tell you about it, and one of the things that I loved about it is 30-minute episodes. There's like 8 of them. It flies by, and it's like low stake, no anxiety TV. It's just like something easy to watch before you go to bed. Thank you to both of you for joining us here on the Live Zone Primetime. Thanks to everybody watching on Fox Local and Fox 5 DC's YouTube page. We're going to leave you with these live pictures from New Jersey where these protests continue on this Friday night. Have a great weekend. Fox 5 News at 10 coming your way next.
Suck, no matter how it goes. So quiet. We're all under illegally. They weren't within the fence. It doesn't. Go ahead and pull your car up over there while I'm with my camera. You okay with that? Yeah, and we'll wait there. I will. Coming at it. Potentially been taken into custody. fucking king! Can I see your picture? This is the state police that are protecting your First Amendment rights. You guys proud of yourselves? Proud of yourselves? Bunch of little men trying to prove some shit. Look at y'all. Fucking common ass motherfuckers. Here's your free speech zone, dickhead. Fuck you! ICE has to answer to Trump. Y'all have to answer to the state drug traffic. It ain't gonna go well for you, I promise. This shit is not gonna end the way for y'all the way it's us little guys in there. I promise you that. Yes, start thinking real hard. I see you.
Estamos a las afueras de ahora este almacén, la verdad. Ya no estamos ni a las afueras de Delaney Hall porque Delaney Hall está a esta distancia, ya está bien distante. Estamos en la Doremus Avenue, aquí en Newark, New Jersey. La policía estatal acaba de empujar a la multitud entera hasta este punto. Los manifestantes alertados tuvieron que llevar todos los suministros del campamento, de cuales les hemos dado antes en múltiples transmisiones. Han tenido que llevarlo todo en 15 minutos. A la gente solo se le dio una advertencia de 15 minutos para retirarse. Y ahora esto es lo que están haciendo los agentes. Gas lacrimógeno, caballos, gas pimienta. Detrás nuestro, bueno, más allá de la gente que también está congregada, está pero más allá, supongo que el tráfico estaría normal. Una gran porción de esta avenida, la avenida Doremus Avenue, está cerrada.
You not see?
Son las 10:30.
Shining into an old man's eyes.
Y ahora están,
Thank you.
están brillando linternas tácticas a la multitud, incluyendo a la prensa. Estas son linternas tácticas diseñadas para ser lo suficientemente intensas como para desorientar y cegar a la gente por unos segundos. Pero apuntarle a la prensa que, bueno, la prensa yo no les voy a tirar nada, y tampoco los camarógrafos al lado mío, como que no tiene mucho sentido a menos que ellos de verdad quieran estar arremetiendo contra la gente. Ahí tenemos de nuevo, apuntando. A un manifestante que se encontraba inmóvil le han echado gas pimienta por unos 3 segundos. Estos son 3 segundos apretando el gatillo del chisguete, del spray. Ya los guardias, los agentes aquí llevan parados desde hace 5 minutos. Ahí atrás ven a alguien con un lanzagranadas de gas lacrimógeno. Ahorita la situación se ha pausado, al menos por el momento. Pero para aquellos que recién se están uniendo, si es que pueden atrasar la transmisión, o sea, pueden retroceder al momento donde nos estaban empezando, van a poder tener una idea de todo el caos. Todos aquí, tanto manifestantes como prensa, conservadores, han tenido que enfrentar frente a la policía estatal. Aquí hay sirenas. Varios carros de policía y han parado aquí detrás de la línea de policías antidisturbios. Como pueden ver, aquí están armados con escudos, tienen caballos allá atrás, llevan gas lacrimógeno y han empujado a la multitud hasta afuera del almacén que se encuentra al otro lado. Esto es el Nuevo York y este es Oremus Avenue. La gobernadora Maggie Carroll está a cargo de esta policía estatal. Claramente se ha hecho bajo luz verde de la gobernadora. Para mover todo lo que había, todos los servicios hacia otra dirección, un lugar más seguro, porque ahora todo lo que está detrás de esta línea va a ser despejado probablemente. Han tenido que mover hasta algunas carpas. Oye. Hola Maribel, contame la llamada a los detenidos. Es una de las empresarias que se ha cometido contra los huelguistas que se lanzó el viernes pasado. Sí. Yeah. Appreciate and love you guys. Do me a favor, like them, they post it. Have a good night. There is no riot here. Why are you in riot here? There is no riot here. We protecting. We protect us. 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 Every cop. We protect us. Every cop. We protect us. Podrán haber visto. Perdón, aquí en esta misma transmisión. Estos son agentes estatales bajo el comando de la gobernadora Michael Carroll, que ha venido a arremeter contra los manifestantes aquí afuera del centro de detención en Vigil. Es la noche número 8 desde que se inició la huelga de hambre adentro, con más de 300 participantes. Y estos manifestantes que se encuentran afuera segunda, que ICE libere a gente en estado vulnerable, incluyendo a gente con discapacidades, gente en estado de salud crítico, gente joven, gente de edad mayor. Esas son las demandas principales de los huelguistas en el centro de detención. Aquí tenemos a un artista buscando los acontecimientos de esta noche. La policía estatal entró ahí, liberó más arriba que tiene vista de los caballos y han utilizado estos caballos también para empujar a los manifestantes, casi atropellándolos. Han también agredido a la prensa que se encontraba al frente para tomar fotos y a un manifestante que estaba en el bote le echaron gas pimienta. O sea, el sentido de que estamos estaba en la fila como aquí y en esa misma elevación un agente de la policía se acercó y cogió a alguien por 2 segundos enteros de gas pimienta.
You got me there! New! Oh, look out, it's out!
Water, gente, ahí tienen a su gobernadora.
Okay, we got.
Regata que tiene mayor intensidad.
Activists say that these agents were not using their discretion or not really caring whether or not this road was not closed, and they said they were not really caring whether or not these demonstrators were pushed into vehicles. And we saw this one instance where a man had his leg reportedly crushed by one of those wheels. A remedy to that, it would seem, from the governor of New Jersey would be to give going the zone. The problem is that these are the barricades that you're seeing now that are being brought down. The demonstrators who have now come back, they've waited till about 10 o'clock to advance, and now, as they push the crowd back, the crowd refusing to allow the demonstrators to stop. Stop the fence! Jostling back and forth with the demonstrators over these barricades that again were brought in to establish the First Amendment zone for the demonstrators. You are now seeing these agents retreat with the barricade and point their weapons around at the crowd. We have several photographers, and then back behind the photographers, the crowd that has decided to stay despite the
We're not going anywhere, you fuckers! You can't just fucking anywhere!
It was nice. It was New Jersey State Police. New Jersey State Police. That started about 7 years ago with at this point, unless barricades.
Your babysitters are gone! What happened? Your babysitters are gone! When are the dogs gonna come out and beat the fucking people, huh? I told you not an Andy, baby. I know. I can't remember what you had to say. The angriest man on the planet. The angriest man on the planet. Enforcing the law for fascists. What a fucking badass. He orders around a group of 30 men with no discipline. They can't control their rage. But every 40 minutes they attack the people. Really, really strong men. Really powerful men. Being important positions in the world. The position of slave catcher. Cowardly fucking slave catcher.
So we just took our chance because we thought it was
fascist fucking slave catcher. You can't even
fight your own fucking wars on the street because you're fucking cowards. You got the fucking state police to do your dirty work. You fucking cowards.